Hello, everybody, and welcome to English Grammar with Ameya sir. And in the last lecture, we studied the formal letter and we did some language study sets. Now, today we are going to continue with the language study set, but before that, we have a very important thing to cover up, which is the Proverbs. So, this lecture will be about Proverbs. So we will cover up all the entries that we have from the textbook. And later, of course, I promise you that we will continue with the language study sets. As usual, you will have about 3 minutes to do every language set. But first, the proverb. And again, I will like to say that I'm very happy the way I've been receiving homework by students. Shows your amazing ability to keep focus even during these times. Okay. So let's get started with the proverbs. That's the thing for today. And we are going to cover all the entries that exist from your textbook. Okay, so let's get started. And what are proverbs? So that's the basic question. We'd like to begin with that. So what are proverbs? The definition of a proverb is a short, well-known saying stating a general truth or piece of advice. I repeat, a short, well-known saying stating the general truth or piece of advice. Notice that advice is with a CE. If you remember, we've studied CE is the noun form, SE is the verb form. So we are going to study textual examples. It says that let us study some textual examples, but let me assure you that we are going to study not some but all the textual entries. So once you have attended this lecture, you will have no problems with proverbs. I have covered up all the entries wherever you have proverb mentioned in the textbook. That is why you are going to love today's session. So in unit 1.1, right on the first page of your textbook, you have a lovely entry for proverbs, which is guess the proverb. Okay. So they have given you pictures and you're supposed to identify what proverbs they are. Now this one is very simple. As usual, do not get distracted. Focus on what we are doing here. For this one, I'm going to concede about 1 minute. That's it. 1 minute should be fine for this one because these are terribly easy stuff. Okay, these are terribly easy things. This is terribly easy stuff, and 1 minute is all that you are going to get. Try them in your notepad, and then I shall of course reveal the answers. So your time actually starts now. You only have a minute, and I believe you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 proverbs to guess. So please make sure that you put in your best effort and get 4 out of 4. This is the very first page of the textbook, unit 1.1. Another half a minute. Please write properly. Okay, I am going to reveal the answers now in about next 5 seconds or so. That's it. I believe 1 minute was more than sufficient for you. Okay, so back to it, and the answers are as follows. The first one is the pen is mightier than the sword. Guys, this word is not sword. This one is sword. Okay, so SWORD is actually sword. Imagine the W is not there. W is silent, just like the spelling of right. WRITE. You don't say write. So similarly, it's not sword, it is sword. The W is silent. Sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. Okay. The next one, you have birds of the same feather flock together. Birds of the same feather flock together. Flock is to gather, a collective noun. Okay. The third one is time is money. You can clearly see that it's equal to sort of a sign. So time equals money. So time is money. I'm sure you got that. And the last one is every dark cloud has a silver lining. Well, you don't see exactly the dark cloud or whatever it is. Maybe the printing has come out like that, but more or less I'm sure you know surmised that correctly. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. So let me know if you got all four correct. Okay, let us proceed to the next one. We now go to unit 2.2, textbook page 50. Now this one is interesting because this one actually is match the following. So the textbook presents the meanings and then the words to which those definitions or the meanings apply. So we are going to do it, and I will definitely consider more than a minute here. So this is what the activity on page 50 is. Expressions in English classified under different heads. So we have to pair up. With a partner. So if you're doing this in the school, which at the moment thanks to COVID-19 looks impossible, so you're supposed to do it individually and match the columns. So you have to match column A with B. As I said, here you have the terms, and in the column B you would have the meaning, what actually they mean. So because there are 8 entries, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes of thinking time. So I'm going to start your 2 minutes, and enjoy the music. I will be with you at the end of these 2 minutes. About a minute more. Last 5 seconds. Okay, the time is up, and I have no doubt that you were able to do everything correctly. Well, the beautiful aspect is when you have 8 questions and you have 8 options, if you get 7 right, obviously you get the 8th one right. I always say that. It's interesting from the student's point of view. So let's hope that you are going to get full marks here. And the answers. So what is principle? Principle is a rule to govern one's behavior. Remember, this is ONE''S. It's not ONCE, once upon a time. Not that once. What is a quotation? It is words cited from a speech or text of a famous person. Okay. What is a moral? Moral is a lesson derived from a story or experience. I'm sure as a child you've gone through a lot of stories with moral at the end. Idioms, what are those? Established expressions which do not convey exactly the same idea as the individual words. Okay. For example, over the moon. Does that literally mean over the moon? No, it means extremely happy. Slogans, what are those? Short, striking messages for the public. You would see during protests, during agitations, you have slogans. even during Indian freedom struggle. I'm sure you've heard of the word slogans. One-liners, what are those? A short, witty remark stating truth. That's called a one-liner. Maxims, what are those? A generally accepted evident truth. You would have that a lot in mathematics. They're also known as axioms, by the way. For example, two lines intersect each other at one and only one point. After that, they would never intersect each other. Non-parallel lines, of course. Proverb is D, a popular well-known saying. So if you remember in the last slide, that's exactly what we studied. We studied the definition of proverb. So that definition can be derived from this entry that you have in the textbook. Now leave it in the comments if you scored full marks in this particular activity. I'm sure you did. Let us now proceed to the next one. Now we go to unit 3.3, textbook, page 120. Now it is for this reason that whenever I covered up that lesson, I used to tell you that we will do the textual activities separately. We have done 3.3. I've uploaded that on our channel. So we did not do the proverb thing because I wanted to take a dedicated lecture for proverbs. Now you will have the answer. And today we are going to look at all the cases where you have proverb mentioned in the textbook. So now 3.3, and what is the activity? Let's find it out. The activity is that, it's the question number 6 there in the textbook. Explain how the life of Stephen Hawking, the lesson is about Stephen Hawking and his struggle, proves the proverb every cloud has a silver lining. Write it down in your notebook. Well, that's the assignment given to you, and we have just studied that. Every cloud has a silver lining. Remember on textbook page number 1 you had this. So now I am not going to give you the time to attempt on your own because it's a lecture where I want you to be good with it. I am going to provide you with the answer. We are going to read it. We are going to study it together. I'm going to show you the fine aspects of how the answer was created, the good words, how to underline, the format, everything. And later, of course, I'll give you time to copy from the slide. So at the moment, do not start writing on the topic. Do not be distracted, and pay attention on the screen because I am going to reveal the answer myself. I prepared the answer for you. So this is what you can write. Let me read it. This line means that we should not surrender to the difficulties. So that's the mantra. We should not surrender to the difficulties. You can use the word succumb to threat or something that arise in front of us. We must confront them. Confront is to face. We must confront them confidently. Noted physicist Stephen Hawking's life too was full of difficulties and challenges. Yet, now guys, remember, difficulties and challenges, it is such a good thing to use such words rather than just dismiss them as problems. So instead of saying that Stephen Hawking's life was full of problems, I have said that Stephen Hawking's life was full of difficulties and challenges. That's much better than just to dismiss it as a problem or an issue. Okay. Yet he never lost sight of his goals. Okay, he never lost sight of his goals. It was very evident from his life that he always was focused. He looked at the brighter side of things and never gave up hope. I would like to remind you of the times when he was next to a patient of leukemia, and then looking at his condition, Stephen Hawking felt that he was fortunate. He was much better. So it's very evident that he always looked at the brighter side of things and he never gave up hope. Very powerful sentence. He saw the silver lining on the dark cloud of his life. So now it is here that you are going to use the line, making it very clear to the examiner that you are to the point. He saw the silver lining on the dark cloud of his life, and rather than being submerged in a melancholic mood, beautiful guys, beautiful, just listen. I will give you time to copy this later. If you don't listen properly, the knowledge cannot be absorbed. So make sure that you are giving me your undivided attention. Listen to this. He saw the silver lining on the dark cloud of his life, and rather than being submerged in a melancholic mood, he focused on the future. Submerge is to completely be absorbed in. Okay, and melancholic mood is sad mood. Definitely flaunting vocabulary here. Melancholic mood is a sad mood, is a depressed mood. So instead of going into being submerged in a melancholic mood, He saw the silver lining in the dark cloud of his life and never gave up hope. Here we have definitely used good vocabulary. He focused on the future. His life is an epitome of inspiration and urges us to look for opportunities even in tough situations. Again, I have avoided using the word problems. I have replaced that with tough situations. Guys, I've noticed this. If you replace words with words that actually bring out the best in you, it helps. So instead of calling it as problems, use situations, use challenges. So that will make you think about what to do. If you just call it an issue or a problem, then you know it's an issue or a problem. But then when you call it a situation, when you call it a challenge, something like that, then you might want, you will, pull up your sleeves and want to do something to change it, to change the situation. So don't call it problems. Let's go back to what I was saying. There is a word here, epitome. I was wanting to explain that. Epitome is an illustration or an example. I repeat, epitome is an illustration or an example. Fine. Let me read it once, then I will give you time. Now when I read it, you can also do the reading back home, because it will not disturb anybody. You're all by yourself in front of your computer screens right now, or the mobile. Let me read it, pay attention. This line means that we should not surrender to the difficulties that arise in front of us. We must confront them confidently. Noted physicist Stephen Hawking's life too was full of difficulties and challenges, yet he never lost sight of his goals. He looked at the brighter side of things and never gave up hope. He saw the silver lining on the dark cloud of his life, and rather than being submerged in a melancholic mood, he focused on the future. His life is an epitome of inspiration and urges us to look for opportunities even in tough situations. Nicely built up, guys. Now I'm going to give you about 2 minutes of copying time, and then I will see you at the end of these 2 minutes. Enjoy the music and copy it down carefully. About a minute more. Alright, your time is up, and now let us continue with our PPT and go to the next entry in the textbook. This entry will be in 3.4, textbook page 123. I'm sure you know what this is it not? 3.4. 3.3 was about Stephen Hawking. So what's this question about? This is about strong willpower. Strong willpower, the poem, The Will to Win. Yeah. So they have asked us discuss and write 5 proverbs or quotations related to the importance of having a strong willpower. Guys, now you will begin to understand what this lecture truly is about. The thing is, we are going to cover up all the places where you have proverb mentioned, and very quickly, I suppose, we have come to page number 123 of your textbook. Do you know how many total pages you have in the textbook? Come on, be quick. Okay, let me know in the comments if you could answer that immediately without turning the textbook and looking at the last page, by the way. So anyway, that's fun. We will just get back to the point and discuss 5 proverbs. So what are those proverbs? Where there is a will, there is a way. We cannot write any proverb that we wish. We are supposed to stick to the topic. The topic is strong willpower. So 5 proverbs based on that theme. Where there is a will, there is a way is very common. The next one you have, willpower is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Okay, this is very nice, guys. This is something that is common, the first one. But this one is interesting. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. So willpower is also like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Nice comparison. So this is simile. Okay, third one. I am indeed a king because I know how to rule myself. So nice, is it not? I remember there are so many instances where people say that, I want to be able to control all the things and all the people. But then the wise men have said that the only person you need to be able to control, you should be able to control, is yourself, your mind, your thoughts. So here the line is very interesting because the line says that I am indeed the king because I know how to rule myself. It's fantastic. What else? Life's success is due to actions, and actions happen with a strong willpower. So basically, whatever it is that you are able to accomplish in life, the source of that is willpower. If you don't have the willpower, why will you take action? And then if you don't take actions, how are you ever going to achieve success? So apt for 10 standard, is it not? Fantastic. This one is also very good, really. There are a lot of proverbs, guys. I have shortlisted 5 of my choice. When the going, this one is particularly my favorite, okay? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. I hope you are able to understand this. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. So going is your existence, your life. Okay? When the going hardships, when the going gets tough, the tough people get going. It is then that they really get going. They find a way through the problem. They circumnavigate, and then they're able to emerge victorious. So that's a very nice line there. So one of my favorites, and last but not the least, applies to that line. I'm going to give you only about a minute to copy these lines. All you have to do is just jot down 5 proverbs. So I'm going to give you a minute, and please start jotting the lines now. I'll see you after a minute. You have half a minute more. Final 5 seconds. Okay, and your time is up. So let us now proceed with our PPT. The next entry you will have is 3.5 textbook page 136. Another quick question. What is this lesson about? Unit 3.5. Can you answer quickly? Okay, it's about Mary Kom, is it not? Supermom Mary Kom. What a chapter. The third unit is quite there for motivation and inspiration, all those superstars. This is page 136 of the textbook, and here is what the question is. Two famous proverbs. The first one is actions speak louder than words. And the second one is fortune favors the brave. Now, if you wonder why I have not underlined that, is because first we will talk about actions speak louder than words, and in the next slide we will talk about fortune favors the brave. They are best suited to the personality of Mary Kom. Form two groups, which at the moment looks difficult and unlikely. In the class, each group should write a paragraph on one proverb with reference to life and achievements of Mary Kom. So here is what we are going to do. One group was supposed to write on only one, right? But in the exam, of course, you could expect either of them. So we are going to write on both. As mentioned, first we will look at actions speak louder than words, and in the next one we are going to look at fortune favors the brave. So we are going to start with our first. As usual, guys, as usual, let me first explain it to you properly. Let's go through the vocabulary. Let's see how I've underlined important sections. Then I will give you time to copy. It is only at that time that you should copy. Otherwise, you will miss out on any explanation or any point that I'm making. So here is what you can write about actions speak louder than words and how that is fit for Mary Kom's personality. The impact of actions is much more influential than the most persuasive words. In short, what the first line means, guys, is that actions speak louder than words. You can talk about a lot of greatness, but if you don't take any actions, then your speech has no value. So impact of actions is much more influential than the most persuasive words. I like this word persuasive. Persuasive is something that makes someone do something. That's called persuasion. Persuasive is the adjective form. Mary Kom truly exemplifies the above proverb. Now, exemplifies is stand as an example. Now, very quickly, let me ask you, let's see how much your focus is. In the last slide, what was the word we used for example? Did you get it? It is epitome. In the last slide, we did that. If you had to look at your notepad or go back and then answer, then that's not good. But those who were able to answer it, you have got tremendous focus and concentration. You must have not anticipated this question from me. Anyway, so Mary Kom truly exemplifies the above proverb. She had to confront, we've seen this also previously, she had to confront the inevitable challenges on her way to success since, what are the reasons? Since she entered a setup meant only for males. Guys, remember she chose boxing as her career. So that's a male-dominated sport, or at least then it was. And that is why there were inevitable challenges. Once again, I'm not using the word problems or issues. I am saying challenges. And how were those challenges? Inevitable. What do you mean by inevitable? Inevitable means something that you cannot avoid. That is inevitable. You must have heard many a times people say that if you want great success, smart work and hard work is inevitable. You have to be smart. You have to work hard. There are no shortcuts. You have to apply your knowledge. You have to work smartly. And eventually you get success. There's no shortcut. So very important. Inevitable, something that you cannot avoid. Inevitable. So that's it. Life does test you, doesn't it? So inevitable. And then what else do we have? She chose a setup meant only for males. She faced opposition from her own family, friends, and colleagues. By the way, you should know this. We have discussed this in one of our previous lectures, that whenever you decide to do something new, there always will be people who would question, who would have their eyebrows raised. It's like, what? Really? No, you won't be successful? There'll be questions, there'll be apprehension. And not all the people would be that supportive. So Mary Kom also had to face opposition from her own family, friends, colleagues at times. But she displayed determination. You can use the word grit here as well. She trained without giving up, sparred with male boxers. While doing the lesson, we have studied these words. To spar is to practice motions of boxing. She had to do that with the male boxers since probably there was no female boxer at that stage. Her grit was rewarded when she won. W-O-N is a won. Do not pronounce it as won. She won. She won a bronze medal in 2012 Olympics. Again, that word 2012. And my dear 2012 SSC batch, I remember telling you the story. They thought the world was going to end, but it didn't. And this time as well, I'm telling you, nothing is going to go wrong. You're going to appear for the exam in March 2021. Okay. Anyway, thus actions speak louder than words to silence her critics. Therefore, we ended up nicely with the line that the textbook gave. Actions speak louder than words, and she was able to silence the critic. Well, success is the best revenge, is it not? They say. And so it is true in her case. Let me read that one final time and then I'll start your timing. When I read it, you can try to do it with me just to check your fluency, your fluent reading. Okay, let's start. The impact of actions is much more influential than the most persuasive words. Mary Kom truly exemplifies the above proverb. She had to confront the inevitable challenges on her way to success since she entered a setup meant only for males. She faced opposition from her own family, friends, and colleagues, but she displayed determination. She trained without giving up, sparred with male boxers. Her grit was rewarded when she won a bronze in the 2012 Olympics. Thus, actions spoke louder than words to silence her critics. I'm sure you like the arrangement, and I'm going to start your timing. I'm going to give you 2 minutes of your jotting down as you're jotting down time, and I'll see you at the end of these 2 minutes. A minute more, guys. Okay, the final 5 seconds. Okay, and your time is up. So let us go back to our PPT because you know that we have now the next proverb to consider, which is fortune favors the brave. Remember last time we studied this, and last slide that is, and now we have to study fortune favors the brave. Both apply to Mary Kom perfectly. So now it will be very interesting for you to compare how we just switched from that proverb to this one and made sure that we are to the point and applies to Mary Kom. So this will be interesting. The same personality and two distinct proverbs. I'm sure you're as excited as I am. Let me pull up my answer. Okay, let me again tell you that I will read, explain, and then give you time to jot down. So don't do anything else at the moment. Just listen to this. The line is fortune favors the brave. Brave are the ones who never give up. So that's first of all an identity of a brave person. Brave are the ones who never give up. You know, you must have heard of this line, Winners never quit and quitters never win. It's definitely, interchangeable because it means the same. Brave are the ones who never give up. They keep fighting until destiny bows before them. This is not bows, guys, okay? Bows, to bend down. Bows before them and bestows them with gleaming success. Gleaming is sparkling, shining success. Mary Kom is an excellent example. Guys, we have done two words for example in the previous slides. Can you tell me both of them? I'll help you with one. The first one was epitome. Well, let me know in the comment if you were quickly able to tell me the second one. So here I have just used the word example, simple and straight, but you could go ahead and use any one of the words we used previously for example. So in place of that. Mary Kom is an excellent example of this. Her bravery is very evident. Very evident is very clear from the point that she chose an unconventional male-dominated sport. Guys, look at the way we are just shifting the words and arranging it in a way that suits this line. So yes, earlier also we did mention that she sparred with the male boxer. She had to face inevitable challenges. Now we are saying that she chose an unconventional. Boxing is at that during those times at least not so much a sport for Indian women. That was not their first choice. But of course now the things have changed. But we are talking about Mary Kom's era and time. Then it was not at that time contemporary. So she chose an unconventional male-dominated sport. She saw a dream and chased it with passion and resolve. Resolve is a firm decision. Resolve is not to solve it again, not resolve. It's resolve, a firm determination, decision. She overcame, past tense of overcome. She overcame every hurdle. You can use obstacle here if you want. Bravely and made her own luck. So we are talking about fortune here. So I have included the word luck. So she made her own luck. She didn't just sit there, wait for universe to bless her. She took actions. Remember one of those proverbs? She bagged a bronze medal in 2012 Olympics, and it was her courage that brought her this glory. She works very efficiently. That means very, very energetically. Even in her house, and she is a successful mother. We've seen that in while doing the lesson. She is successful even as a mother. Truly, it is her strength of character that has helped her fulfill her dream. Notice the spelling of fulfill. What a beautiful way to just shift our focus from actions speak louder than words and to show fortune favors the brave. So she did not just wait on fortune and hope that she will be successful. She took actions upon her aims and ambitions. All right, let me read it one last time before I start the time for you. You can read it with me. That's a very good practice, guys. So let's start. Brave are the ones who never give up. They keep fighting until destiny bows before them and bestows them with gleaming success. Mary Kom is an excellent example of this. Her bravery is very evident from the point that she chose an unconventional male-dominated sport. She saw a dream and chased it with passion and resolve. She overcame every hurdle bravely and made her own luck. She bagged a bronze medal in 2012 Olympics, and it was her courage that brought her this glory. She works very efficiently even in her house, and she is successful even as a mother. Truly, it is her strength of character that has helped her fulfill her dream. So if you are able to read fluently, that helps. I'm sure you enjoyed that doing with me. And now I'm going to start your timer, the countdown timer. I'll see you at the other side of these 2 minutes. Enjoy the music, jot down. And by the way, when I say jot down, make the same underlining that I have done. Okay, underline it in the same way. So let's continue. Your time starts. About a minute more, guys. Okay, so time is up and I hope that you are done with your work. Let us go ahead with the PPT. So now what do we have? The next one. We are now on to unit 3.5, which is still Maricom, by the way. Now, think of beauty, joy forever. So let us confirm this, whether this is 3.5. I don't think so. This should be 4.1, guys. Okay, this should be 4.1. There is no doubt about this. This should be 4.1. This is the poem. Thing of beauty is a joy forever. 4.1, I beg your pardon. The poem itself is a proverbial. We have not yet started with 4.1, which we eventually will. So far we have covered up all the units, chapters in the third unit. We've not started with the fourth unit, but this is 4.1, thing of beauty, joy forever. 3.5 is Maricom. 3.6 is the concert. We've done that, and so accordingly check the page number. This is not 3.5. Okay, so make a note of this, that thing of beauty is a joy forever. The poem itself is a proverbial. You should do this. Is exactly your homework actually. You should do a lot of research, use a Wikipedia for this, and try to write down about one full scape on what this line actually means. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Let's continue. 4.1, page 149. Now let us see if it applies to this. Yes, you can say that. So collect from various sources proverbs or magazine related to beauty of nature. So we can definitely say that it is from 4.1. And we are supposed to find proverbs on this topic, beauty of nature. So I'm going to mention a few. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 of them. Mother is our nature. A father is a banker provided by nature. Very nice thought. Art is man's nature and nature is God's art. Notice that G is capital. Nature never betrays the heart that loves it. Every time you notice, I keep the last one as my favorite one. Okay, nature never betrays the heart that loves it. Powerful. Betray is to cheat. So if you love nature, nature is a partner that will never betray you. 1 minute should be enough to jot down everything that is here. I'll start your timer quickly in a minute. Okay, do that and your time starts now. Final few seconds and your time is up. Okay, and by the way guys, this one, the previous slide, this one is page 147. Okay, So 147. It applies to 4.1 and the page number is not 136, it's page 147. But remember your homework, okay? Anyway, let's continue with what we were studying right now, and I hope you are done with it. So let's continue. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this particular section of today's lecture, end of Proverbs. Apart from this, you will not find any other area that mentions proverb. Okay, so we have covered up the section proverb in detail. Hope you enjoyed. And now very quickly we will go to language sets. We did about 5 of them last time. We will try to do at least 2 today, at least 2. If we can manage and squeeze more than that, fine, but at least 2 more. As usual, make a point that you attempt it seriously, and when I give you the 3 minutes of thinking time, it is to ensure that you stay above the score of 3.5 out of possible 5. Okay, so let me actually go ahead and set that particular language study for you. I think first I'll show you the last question set that we did. I think this was the one that we saw last, is it not? We saw that the distribution use the noun form. I believe that's the one we saw as the last one. So now it is time for us to proceed to the number 6. And as usual, the questions will come first. Then I'll start 3 minutes. At the end of those 3 minutes, I'll reveal all the answers together. All the very best. This is the set 6. And your time will be 3 minutes. Let me reset that. Yes, and now I'm going to start your timing. 3 minutes. I'll see you at the end of these 3 minutes. All the best. Last minute, guys. Okay, a final few seconds. I hope you are ready with your answers. And your time is up, guys. Your time is up. And now it is my turn to reveal the answers. By the way, I hope that when you check your answers, you're always honest and sincere. So now when I show the answers, please be honest in your correction. And if there's some error, you should rectify. Okay, and then let me know the true score. Okay, so this is what we are now going to study, the answers. So create a word register. Railway station was the theme. So train, platform, ticket checker, indicator, passengers, advertising boards, waiting room, etc. There's so many. You could create about 6 to 8 words. You can choose any words that are related to railway station. I hope it's more or less based on the same idea. Okay, homophones. By you have got BYE and BUY. Guys, you had to write both. If you only wrote one of them, give half a mark only, please. 2 is TOO and TWO. Make meaningful sentences over the moon. He was over the moon when he found out that he had obtained over 90% in the annual exam. So that's a great thing for him, is it not? I'm sure that is also somewhere in that region you have your target set. Of course, because it is make meaningful sentence, your sentence could be a little different than what I have provided. So please, you can leave a comment if you like. He is studying geometry. Change to the past perfect continuous tense. He had been studying. He had been studying geometry. So had plus been plus ing, that makes it past perfect continuous. Notice the spelling of continuous, guys. CONTINUOUS. Okay. Fifth one. No. Inverted commas are already open. Then close this comma. Comma comes first. He cried. Comma. Inverted commas open. I will not wait here anymore. There's full stop first and inverted commas close later. Let me know if you were able to score 5 out of 5 in this set, or whatever your score was in set number 6. We've done set 5 last time. This is the first set for today, set number 6. Time for us to go to the next set. As I said, we'll try to do at least 2 sets. So this is going to be set number 7. There you go. And now I'm going to start your countdown timer. And please use complete 3 minutes to try it sincerely. I'll see you at the end of these 3 minutes. Okay, final few seconds left. And your time is up. So time for me to reveal what the correct answers are. By the way, let me be honest, I enjoyed asking that anagram question, and I am sure that you also enjoyed solving it, and I hope that you got all of those 4 entries. Time for the answers. Let's go back to the slide, and the following are the answers. Let's see them one by one. Although, so this shows it is complex because although is a subordinator. She was injured, but now this is a coordinator using but. So she was injured, but she participated in the event. That makes it compound, guys. When you use a coordinator, you get a compound sentence. When you have a subordinator like although, you get a complex sentence. I am your distant relative. Make interrogative. Am changes to aren't. Guys, this is very important. I hope you remember. I have discussed this. Am doesn't change to amn't. There's no such word. Ain't is informal English. Don't use that. When you speak, it's okay. But when you write it, it's not considered standard English. Aren't is the proper form. So am changes to aren't, that there is no doubt about. So aren't I your distant relative? And do not forget to terminate the line with a question mark. It's make interrogative, guys. Don't forget question mark. And now the most interesting one. C-A-F-E, cafe, was actually face. K-E-E-N is knee. B-E-L-O-W was elbow. I suppose that was the easiest. And this was very interesting. The most interesting. E-A-R-T-H was actually heart that I was looking for. Hope you got all 4. Let me know. The police has arrested. You never can use police as has. Okay. The police have arrested all the culprits. So that's the error. My friends left as soon as the party was over. No sooner than. No sooner was. Guys, you must make sure that you use the auxiliary provided in the line. If the auxiliary is not provided, then you go for did, does, depending on the tense. But here you had was. So no sooner was the party over than my friends left. I hope that you scored 5 out of 5. Let me know. It's important that you let me know. By the way, anagrams, I want to talk about this. There are 2 important components here. Let me come on cam for that. The first one is anagram and the other one is portmanteau word, also known as clipping. That's there. You have to study those. So next lecture, I'm telling you in advance, you might need that. We've studied anagrams. By the way, now I hope you know, if there was anybody who did not know this, anagram is using the same letters. So no letter was left out. F-A-C-E, C-A-F-E, cafe. The same 4 letters were used. So that's anagram. Another example which is not over here might be charm and march. It's not a body part, but it's an anagram. Charm, C-H-A-R-M, M-A-R-C-H, march. So same letters were used for a different. All the letters were used. That's anagram. Well, hope that you enjoyed this lecture. It was awesome discussing the proverb section with you first. That was the most important part for today. And as practice, we continue doing the language sets, and we were able to meet our target. We did 2 language sets. Now, in all, we have done 7 language study sets. So up until next time, do take care, stay at home and stay fit. We will meet again soon.